Facebook Live. Now, I should just do this normally, but I feel like a talk show host. So that's why I'm doing the old extra bit. So I'm going to go with the first question, okay? Thank you very much for joining me. I'm here to promote Dark Tower, my movie. I'm really proud of the movie, and I'm glad that, you guys have sent in your questions. What's up, Mum? Anyway, okay. First one. Do you have a favorite Stephen King book or movie? Yes, I well into The Shining. Mate, Jack Nicholson, creepy. One of his greatest performances. But the book is pretty good, and the film is amazing. So thanks for asking that question. The second question I have here: was there a specific scene from the script that you were really excited to film? Yeah, no spoilers if you haven't seen it, but there is this scene in the film where my character has to go into this sort of like den, and there is a few bad guys in there. I'm the good guy, of course, and basically I have to take everyone out. And when I saw the sort of like design for it and how we were going to do it, I was like, wow, it's pretty exciting. So I was really looking forward to doing that scene. It's an exciting scene. I hope you enjoy it. All right, cool. Thank you very much for that question. Here's the next one. Favorite part about playing Roland? How was working with Tom Taylor? That's my guy. I'm excited to see Roland and Jake on screen together. That's from Kai Lin 89. Okay, boom. My favorite part about playing Roland is I actually think is the gunslinging. It's the shooting the guns. I have to be real. It's really physical. It kind of looks cool. He has this amazing coat that I get to fling around and do like all this stuff. And the guns are pretty badass. They're like really long. They were really heavy, the guns. But when I got used to them, it was pretty exciting to shoot. Tom Taylor, he's a little actor that plays Jake. Tom was probably the best thing of the film for me. He and I spent a lot of screen time, so we had a lot of fun. He's very funny. He's got a really dry sense of humor, and he's really good in the film. Big up, Tom, if you're listening. That's for you, bruv. Laughing out loud. Okay. I've got a question from HWV. What makes Roland stand out from the other characters that you've played? One of the things that really stands out for me playing Roland is that he's an action hero. He's a full-life action hero. We all grew up loving or falling in love with an action hero of some sort, and Roland is my very own. I play Heimdall in the Thor series, and people know that, but Roland is a full-on action hero. There's lots of sort of stuff that I like about it. I love his costume, and the thing about Roland though, he's a haunted man. He has a black heart, and the man in black has haunted him. So it's quite a heady character to play. It's quite stoic. He doesn't like to speak much. But when he gets to shooting bad guys, it's game over. Thanks for that question. Got another question here. What if there was another character in the Stephen King universe you could play? Who would it be? That's from Sir Jobo. Honestly, Joe, if I'm honest, I don't know enough about the other characters within the Stephen King family. As I said to you earlier, The Shining was one of my favorite films. I would love to remake The Shining, because I wouldn't top Jack Nicholson's performance, but that film is so deep and dark. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to play James Caan in Misery. No, Kathy Bates took him out. I don't want to do that. Is that a thumbs down if I did that? Yeah. All right, thanks for that question though. This is fun. I'm liking this. Okay. Lou W. Systema. I shouldn't read these out. Hey, Idris Elba, best wishes for the film. How difficult / complicated was it for you to accommodate the special effects into your gunfighting scenes? What special effects? That's me doing all that. Joking. The truth is, the director, Nick, had a phenomenal sort of perspective on how he wanted this to come across. And, you know, the special effects weren't intrusive at all, to be honest. You know, I really had to do the movements, the choreography, holding the guns and making that look steady and real. And the special effects, you know, came later. So for me, I didn't really have to worry too much about it. And I don't want to give the game away about how some of it was done, but the truth is, you know, all the physicality is real. The guns are real and working, and then the special effects came around it. It's quite interesting because you have to use your imagination to imagine things are not there and doing that. And I think, you know, I've got such a big imagination, so that's cool with me. Okay. Thanks for the question. This is from Joyce C. Graham. What were your first thoughts after reading the script? My first thoughts after reading the Dark Tower script was, you know, they had done an amazing job of, you know, there's 8 books, by the way, of the Dark Tower series. You know, Stephen King, when he was 19, started writing the first one and didn't finish until, God knows. So there's 8 books. So, and when you make a film, the challenge, when you make a film from a book, the challenge is trying to get as close to the book as you can within the parameters of a film. And that's really hard. And I felt that they did a really, really good job. You know, they had to introduce things that come in different parts of the series of the book and distill that into one. And I think they did a good job, you know. Nick Arcel is a great writer, and he's a very clever filmmaker, so I was really impressed. I thought that the relationship between Jake and the gunslinger could have been developed a bit more, and it was eventually. And I think that's actually one of the heartbeats of the film, is their relationship. So thanks for that question. Boom. Okay. What was your favorite part of filming? Okay, Tom, W835. Tom, what was my favorite part of filming? Going home. At the end of the day, going home. I think my favorite part of filming was going to South Africa. I love South Africa, and we shot lots of the film there. Yeah, you know, the worlds that Stephen King describes are, you know, out of this world. You know, Midworld is a really beautiful terrain. It's phenomenal. And we went to South Africa, the Eastern Cape of South Africa, where the terrain is incredible. You know, you see views that you've never seen. And there's a place out there called God's Window. Shout out to my people from South Africa. What up? There's a place called God's Window, and we shot there. And God's Window, I mean, it just sounds incredible, right? God's Window. But it's a view that made it into the film. So I think my favorite part was shooting in South Africa, for sure. Nice. Okay. I wish I could play some music or something, you know? I mean, I just feel like I could bring on an act or something, you know what I mean? I had a live band, you know, like Seth Meyers or one of those guys. No? Okay, just keep answering questions, Idris. That's what you do. All right, Shalina Bianca Basin. What a great name. Okay, what's up, Shalina? So she says, what was training like for this movie compared to others? Pacific Rim, Thor, etc. Okay, Shalina, so I touched on this earlier a little bit. Training was surrounded around the gunslinging. And, you know, I had to be able to take the gun out, put it back without looking, shoot it with a steady arm, move about, do all this stuff. And the training for that, you know, was hard. It was dedicated hours to just getting that right in choreography terms. In Pacific Rim, that was very different, you know, like I didn't have to train for that so much, so to speak. I was a lot of CGI in that film as well, but I also had that incredible costuming in Pacific Rim, which is, yeah, one of the best costumes I've ever worn. Thor, however, especially in the new Thor that's coming out, Ragnarok, you know, I did a lot of sword training for some of the fight sequences in that. And so that training was a little similar to the training of Dark Tower. So thank you very much, guys. Nice one. All right, boom. What we got here? Okay. Groovy Teddy Bear. Groovy Teddy Bear. What's up, bruh? Or sis, whatever. What was it like working with Matthew McConaughey? Was his character extra scary? So I got to work with Matthew maybe 3 days when we were shooting this, because the two storylines don't really connect until almost the very end and somewhere in the middle. So I got to work with Matthew 3 days. I love Matthew McConaughey, man. As an actor, he's like a real professional. He really knows how to take a note. A director will come over and say, "Here, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about you doing that." He's so good at just going, "Yeah, cool." And he's a real pro. He knows all his lines, and he's always on time. I had a really good time with him, but I didn't really get to know him. And then, literally over the last couple of days, I've been running around with Matthew doing the press tour, and we had a great time, man. Thumbs up, Matthew McConaughey, nice guy. He's pretty scary in the film. He's not scary in real life. The man in black in this film is evil personified. You know what I'm saying? He's like he's the bad guy. And Matthew in real life isn't like that. He's quite friendly. So thanks for that question, Groovy Teddy Bear. Just gonna drink a drink of my beverage. Okay. Ashley Hannon, what's up, Ashley? What is your favorite thing about Roland Deschain's attire? I mean, come on, it's the coat. The coat is the one. It's kind of long. It's got some bits on the shoulder. There's no shoulder pads, by the way. It's all my shoulders, just letting you know about that. Just in case, I know someone's going to ask me that. But the coat's kind of long. The waistcoat in the middle has got these kind of turrets. And, I wanted to... The imagery for the gunslinger, we all know, has a hat, he has a long coat, he has the red scarf, and we wanted to keep some elements, and we wanted to change some elements. So the coat obviously was going to stay because it's part of the iconography, but the middle bit, we talked about him being almost like a knight, because the guns that we have in the film are made from Excalibur. In case you don't know anything about the sort of mythology of the Dark Tower, Roland Deschain is the last in the line of gunslingers that protect the Dark Tower, okay? He's the last one. The man in black, played by Matthew McConaughey, has killed them all, including my father before me. So I felt that he was less cowboy and more knight in shining armor. But we didn't want to put him in the knight in shining armor. That would have been bonkers. No, we put him in a coat, of course. But we then sort of designed the color scheme to look more like a knight than a cowboy. So if the movie does well, okay, then I don't get to keep the coat. But if the movie doesn't do well, I get to keep the coat. That's kind of how it works. So go see the movie so you can see the coat, and I don't get to. Thank you very much. Okay, Cleo, let's bueno. Let's Bueno. I think that's a South African name. I'm just guessing. I might be wrong. But hello, Cleo. Cleo. I have no question. I just wanted to say I love you in everything you do. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Love. We love love. Okay. Carlos Felipe. What's up, Carlos? Did you have an opportunity to ask Stephen King any advice before taking the role? No, man. I was a little nervous about talking to Stephen King before the role. I mean, I had known that he was a big fan of the casting decision, and he made that very clear to me in an email and online. But I was just kind of nervous to talk to him about Roland. This is like one of his first characters he's ever written. And I also know that he kind of writ the character with Clint Eastwood in mind, and I'm not Clint Eastwood. So I was a little nervous to talk to Stephen. He did come on set. He was very gracious. He came, didn't get involved in the process of filmmaking, sat by the monitors and just watched. But, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to ask him. Matthew McConaughey spoke to Stephen and said, "Hey, Stephen, send me a line, send me something to get me jumping off." And I wish I had done that. I hadn't done that. But from what I understand, Stephen, he knows what he wants from the movies. He knows what he wants from his writing, obviously, but he knows what his movies need to look like. And, I was I felt very privileged to be a part of that universe, and I think he loves the film. So thanks for that, Carlos. Boom. All right, here we go. Last one. Is it the last one? No. We've got a few more. I'm staying on Facebook Live. Hold up, I just want to do this one time. Oh, damn it. Okay, Algerie Starlins. How did you juggle filming, doing boxing training, DJing, and other various things, and not go cray-cray? Fangirl at heart. No, Algerie, clearly I did go cray-cray, and I am still cray-cray. But the truth is, thanks for that question. It's a good one. The bottom line is that I do a lot of different things, and the only way to be able to do that is to have a good team and have some organization, have less sleep. There's no doubt I sleep less than most, but I do have an interesting life, and I'm thankful for it. So I DJ on the weekends mainly. When I was kickboxing training, I would train very early in the morning, and then I would film all day. It sounds nuts, and it did drive me crazy, but do you know what? I think that I'm a better person for it. All right. So listen, I have 2 more questions. All right, 2 more questions to go. I've had such a wicked time. I'd love to do Facebook Live every day and talk to my fans, not just to promote movies, but just to talk. You know, because I can talk a lot. Okay, here we go. Zach Thomas. Zach, what sold you on taking the lead role as the gunslinger Roland Deschain? I think I kind of mentioned this earlier, that what sold me was the chance to play an action hero in a big summer blockbuster, but also to work with Stephen King and his universe of film, to work with Matthew McConaughey. That sold me as well. You know, and the main thing about why I really wanted to do this project is that it's not a remake. Okay, this is original. I think, you know, there's so many remakes and reboots and whatnot. It's really hard to get something original, you know, and we love originality. You know, when we look at Game of Thrones, we love that. It's original. It's a big hit. I think Dark Tower is a bit like that in the sense that it's got new characters that we don't know, mythology that we don't understand yet, and we'll get to. And I wanted to be a part of that rather than being a remake. So this felt like the right move for me. And plus, you know, I don't really get to do much action. So that was it. Zach, great question. Thank you very much. This is going to be my last question. And this one's from Elizabeth Lake. Elizabeth, what was the biggest challenge you had as an actor bringing Roland to life? I kind of said that one, Elizabeth. But the biggest challenge was, you know, trying to stay as close to the reality of Roland Deschain. He's a very famous character, and I'm obviously a different choice for the iconography of Roland. And I wanted to be as true to what he was in the books and in the imaginations of the fans. I hope I did a good job, all right? I've got to go. Before I go, I just want to tell you guys, thank you very much for joining me on Facebook Live. And also, I'm going to show you the trailer. I know you've seen it probably, but if you haven't, here's your time, all right? Much love. I speak.